Tower Defense Simulator has teased us with an exciting new PvP game mode. And just like the name suggests, it's where players compete to see who can survive the longest in the game. Sounds awesome, right? But here's the thing. This game mode is far from ready for release, and it might take quite some time to develop. And why is that? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain the reasons why TDS PvP Mode isn't ready yet and what makes it such a challenging feature to bring to life. As of right now, TDS towers are designed for cooperative gameplay, where players team up to defeat waves of enemies. Introducing a PvP mode means developers will need to adjust tower stats to make the competition fair. But here's the problem. Changing tower stats for PvP could mess up how those same towers perform in the regular game mode. And for example, imagine if towers like Accelerator or Engineer, which are incredibly powerful, were nerfed for PvP. That would make sense in a competitive setting, but in the main game, where these towers are essential for beating hard waves, they might feel underpowered. Balancing for two completely different game modes is a tricky challenge and could lead to frustration for players who enjoy the regular modes. Not only that, but it might also affect the strategies players rely on to grind the game. Towers like Pyromancer, Electroshocker, and other support towers could become problematic for the meta in PvP. If developers decide to nerf them to make PvP more balanced, it could lead to a massive shift in the strategies players use to grind coins, and especially gems. Now, keep in mind, gems are only obtainable through hardcore mode, and grinding hardcore, whether solo or with friends, is already a test of your energy and sanity. Any changes to towers could make this process even more difficult, frustrating players who have spent countless hours perfecting their strategies for grinding efficiently. But I do have a solution for this problem, and it's that to make the tower stats in the main game mode and the PvP game mode completely separate. What I mean is that the developers could adjust and nerf tower stats specifically for PvP without affecting how they perform in the main game. For example, if the developers decide to nerf the Golden Cowboy, that change will only apply to PvP mode while leaving the tower untouched in the main game. This way, players wouldn't have to worry about constant changes and nerfs affecting their strategies for grinding coins and gems. It will keep both sides of the game balanced without creating unnecessary stress for players who just want to enjoy the main game mode. Level gap is a huge factor in the TDS progression system. Many powerful towers like the Crook Boss, Mortar, Mercenary Base, and Gatling Gun are locked behind level requirement. Because of this, it will feel unfair to match a level 200 player against a level 50 player. A level 200 player not only has access to some of the strongest towers in the game, but also has far more experience with strategies and gameplay mechanics. The level 50 player wouldn't stand a much of a chance, and the match would completely one-sided. And without proper matchmaking, that accounts for level differences. The PvP experience could quickly become frustrating for low-level players. So, to fix this problem, how about introducing a level requirement to access PvP mode? For example, players would need to reach a certain level, like level 50 or 75, before they're allowed to participate in the PvP matches. This ensures that anyone entering the mode has enough experience and access to a decent selection of towers to compete fairly. By setting a level requirement, it prevents brand new or low-level players from jumping straight into PvP, where they'll likely face overwhelming challenges against more experienced players. This approach not only keeps the matches balanced, but also encourages players to focus on progressing to the main game first before diving into competitive play. But not only that, the developers also need to fix their matchmaking system. Even in the main game mode, there are instances where low-level players are matched with high-level players, and this creates a significant problem. Low-level players often lack access to stronger towers and the experience needed to handle tower waves, which can lead to unbalanced and frustrating matches. Meanwhile, high-level players may feel held back by teammates who can contribute as ineffectively. And if some reason the developers decide to make a 2v2 game mode, if this issue carries over to PvP mode, it could ruin the experience for everyone involved. A proper matchmaking system that pairs players with others of similar levels or skill will be essential to make PvP mode fair and enjoyable. Now, personally, I don't think developers should allow golden variants in PvP mode. These towers are significantly stronger than their regular counterparts, and their presence could make a huge impact in battles between players who have them and those who don't. Golden skin variants are rewards for players who have invested a lot of time into the game, which is great for the main game mode. However, in PvP, they could create a massive imbalance. A player with a golden minigunner, for example, would have a clear advantage over someone who is using the regular minigunner, making the matches feel unfair and one-sided. So, to keep things balanced, it might be better to disable golden variants in PvP altogether or create a separate matchmaking system specifically for players who have access to them. And yeah, I think that's all for this segment because I don't really have anything to talk about the golden variants. They are just like what I said before, they are good for the players who have invested a lot of time into the game, but in the same time, implementing them in a PvP mode will just make a great imbalance of power for the players. So yeah. So in conclusion, the idea of PvP mode in Tower Defense Simulator is exciting. It's clear that there are several challenges the developers need to address before it can be ready for release, from balancing towers without disrupting the main game, implementing level requirements, fixing matchmaking, and handling golden variants. There are lots of work to be done to ensure the mode is fair and enjoyable for players. But with the right adjustment and solutions, PvP mode has the potential to become an amazing addition to the game. Let's hope the developer take their time to get it right so that when it finally arrives, it's everything we've been hoping for. What do you think about the upcoming PvP mode? Do you have any ideas or suggestions for how it could be improved? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Sayonara, alligator.